You talk about the lag time between, the actions taken on investigations and the behaviors of those who are, involved in this kind of criminal element. What is it that could be done immediately to make an impact on human trafficking?
Well, we need a national strategy, and we're seeing in the new administration they're starting to go down that road, and we're going to get there. And you already are starting to see them go after MS-13. That is a key tenet of human trafficking, and I think that's great. But you're never going to get what you need to be able to do until you start looking at data and leveraging data to drive your operations. And what I mean by that is kind of what I talked about a little earlier with the Uniform Crime Report. We must be able to see transnational crimes across this country amongst 18,000 law enforcement agencies. And it's truly hard to believe I'm sure to our citizens at home that in 2018, with all the technology we have, why our government agencies can't see that across the United States, but we truly can't. And if you look at how the Uniform Crime Report is released, it's released on a yearly basis at this point. Today, the world moves so fast.
Yeah. Social media and everything.
Oh, you've got to know what's happening 12 hours ago, never mind what happened a year ago. Yeah. So we've got to get there. But you talk about what's the very first thing we can do, that is it. And once we get the data, we can allow each of those agencies to now create their own initiatives to go after this problem. But I will also tell you that we need a national strategy so that every American knows MS-13 is tier 1, tier 2, whatever these are, so that we can start prioritizing these organizations.
So in the past few years, we've had this move across the country where states have passed, like in Texas, the SB4, which is immigration bill, that says, we need to focus on these municipalities that allow people who come into the country illegally, who allow them to be set free. When it comes to the guest worker program, is there a connection here as well? How many of these individuals that are being trafficked against their will, how many of them end up in the guest worker program, and can we use that as a way to find them and get them the help that they need?
I think at one time that really was a nexus. It really was an area where we could look and say, okay, here where we can find some victims. The problem is that today it's so prolific. It has spread across the country. So now we see it in every neighborhood.
It's not contained to any one particular area or one particular kind of action. It is everywhere.
It is everywhere now, and we've got to recognize that. And, the states are starting to take some really good action, passing very hard, aggressive laws to combat this problem. I think that's fantastic. But at the national level, if we don't have a focused preventative approach to go after these traffickers and these individuals who are responsible for this, we're going to continue to battle this problem.
Now, I know you're talking about policy and you're talking about government work. Is there something that individuals who are watching this right now can do to participate?
Absolutely.
To help?
Absolutely. And I will tell you, I talk to citizens all over the country on literally a daily basis, calling in, just saying, what can I do to help? Because they're seeing it in their own backyard. And what I always tell them is call the Polaris Project, call the National Hotline for Human Trafficking. They will get you engaged with the people in your community who are dealing with this every day and really be able to help them. And that's a great question, because we are never going to do this with just a government approach.
So.
This problem
seems too big.
It really is. It's too widespread now. And that is how we fix it, where all of us as communities across this country come together to go after it.